Do you know what an adjective is? Now, words like adjectives, adverbs, nouns, verbs, things like past participle, present perfect, gerund, all of these words, to be honest, I hate them. They only confuse us more when we're trying to learn a language. Because when you use an adjective, you're not thinking, okay, I need to use an adjective and this is an adverb. And you can perfectly speak any language without even knowing what an adjective, what an adverb, what a noun is, what is a present perfect, etc. But to make it simple, let's do this. An adjective is something that describes. And how can you identify an adjective? Well, if you can use it with the verb to be before this adjective. For example, if we take a look at the word happy and we experiment with I am, with the verb to be, I am happy, it makes sense, right? So that means that happy is an adjective. It's something that describes me or how I'm feeling. So remember, if you can place or put the verb to be before a word, most probably it's an adjective, right? Imagine you have the word cheese and you want to find out if it's an adjective and you say I cheese. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? So that means it's not an adjective. As simple as that. Now, in English, a very common way to form adjectives is to add a little termination, the letters ed at the end of one word. Interested, excited, bored, things like that. Another common way is to add the ending ing. Interesting, exciting, tiring, etc. So this can be really helpful because by just adding these terminations, we can create and discover hundreds of adjectives. Now, let's make sure that you know how to use the adjectives that end in ed and the adjectives that end in ing. What's the difference? When I went to school and I studied chemistry, I used to be very, what do you think, bored or boring? I felt very bored. But when I took my arts class or physical education class or I don't know, biology class, I used to be very excited. You know why? Because for me, the class of arts class was very exciting. It wasn't boring. Okay, so can you start guessing when you use the termination ed and when you use ing for your adjectives? Look at those dogs. They are gorgeous. So, ed, every time an adjective finishes in ed, it means that that's how you are feeling or how a person feels inside. I feel bored, I feel excited, I feel tired, I feel interested, I feel exhausted, etc., etc. So every time an adjective finishes in ed, it means an internal feeling, right? On the other hand, every time an adjective finishes in ing, it means that that thing is interesting, exciting, tiring, or exhausting, right? And that thing makes you feel either excited or bored or interested or exhausted and so on and so forth. So it's a very simple way of discovering what kind of adjective is it. If it finishes in ed, it's how you or any other person feels. He is excited about his new job. And if it finishes in ing, it's describing that thing. his job is very exciting. That's why he feels excited, right? So if I have been walking for 2 hours in this place, how do I feel? Yeah, of course I feel tired or exhausted, because walking is very, what do you think? Of course, walking is very exhausting. Walking is very tiring, right? So, if you understand this, that's all you need to do. Never again will you be confused by words like excited, exciting, tiring, tired, exhausted and exhausting, and so on and so forth. So, I hope this is very useful for you. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and join me again for next time. But until then, I hope that you stay well. This was G. Have a great day. Bye bye.